That's a real place in South Dakota.
Vancouver?
No,
Yeah.
no, in South Dakota. I'm looking at something else. Like that's a real
I
place.
thought Vancouver wasn't a real place.
No. I know it's a real place.
Good night, Williston, South. Or wait, no, that's in North Dakota. Sorry, I'm getting my Dakotas mixed up.
It's all the same. There's nothing there. Well,
Hey!
no, they keep the nukes there. Apparently, that's what. This episode of Furry Frequencies is brought to you by the letter B.
Titties.
B. It's such a versatile letter. It can stand for a lot of things.
Bitch.
That included.
Boobs.
That also.
Balls.
That as well.
Baloney.
Which is very edible.
B!
Beans.
Also edible.
Bitch.
I don't know what that is.
And by Furry Suits Trading Cards. Hi, are you a fursuiter? Would you like to be on a trading card? If so, feel free to fill out a form from Gabu Cabone at Gabu Love Rock on Telegram, and he will send you an application to be on the Furry Suits Trading Cards. Don't delay, apply today. And by Capital City FurCon. Got a sweet tooth? Savor it at Capital City FurCon.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Furry Frequencies, the soundtrack to your furry life. I'm Silox, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Sharky, and Lifty.
He has died.
He's at Area 51, unfortunately.
Oh.
No, I'm streaming live on the internet because of beer.
Oh, you're drinking beer at the
Yes,
moment.
I told you I was.
You're drinking.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. And I'm also joined by our guest host for the evening, Corvidius.
Hello. That's me.
Just a little hello.
Oh my god.
I'm a big scary bird. Stop.
Yes, on today's episode, we will be interviewing Corvidius about a multitude of topics, including Canada, the country to our north, which is probably colder than we are at the moment. I'm not sure.
Also known as America's Hat.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
His words, not mine. We'll also be talking about Growly and...
Well, we're going to be touching on for a little bit about Growly.
Growly, good lord. Yeah, unfortunately. And... God, I'm not gonna... Do I have to say this one? Alright.
Say it.
And the macro-micro fandom, because why not? Why not?
Hey, you're in it. Embrace it, bitch.
God, that's gonna be... I will try to contain my trashiness, because this is a Christian podcast. It's very safe for work. It's not safe for work at all. Okay.
Yeah, watch your language. The Lord is listening.
I don't know who that is. So... Let's talk... Fuck.
Yeah, you just lost your concentration, didn't you?
You
need a beer.
No, the minute you said the Lord, I was like, oh God, he's going there. Okay, I regained my concentration. I'll just edit all that out. Okay, so first things first, let's talk with Corvidius, our special guest. He is live with us from Vancouver.
That is correct. And it's raining right now.
Yes, it's raining. It's not snowing like I thought it was. It's my bad.
It's okay.
Really?
Everyone thinks it snows here, but it really doesn't at all.
Silox, it doesn't
Actually,
snow in
once a
Canada
year.
all the time.
Well, twice a year on the West Coast, actually. But if you go to East Coast, like in the New York area, yeah, it snows as much as New York does, so that kind of gives you an idea.
We
Nice.
should visit Canada.
Yeah, Canada's great.
Yeah, I've been there once, and it was, well, 1.5 times. The half time was Toronto. I was changing flights, so I don't really count that. But I've been to Montreal, and that's about it.
I've been to Kingston, Ontario, like back in 1998, and it was kind of cool. I didn't buy anything because I didn't have Canadian money.
Well, we do take credit card, and we do actually. Please spend money in our country because your USD is worth more. Please boost our economy.
Well, see,
don't wanna
think about
boost your
that. Hold on a
economy.
minute. It
America
was
number one.
so
Oh
this was
Lord.
back in 1998. I don't know if you're a bank that would ever want to give a credit card to a 9-year-old.
Oh, okay, that's pretty low.
I mean, you can. There's no law that says you can't. Everything's legal if the cops aren't around. That's what I've been told.
I'm just saying, if if you're a bank that gives or that pre-approves a 9-year-old for a credit card,
You'd be
you've got some
surprised.
serious morality issues.
Boy, you'd be surprised. So, Corvidius, please tell us, how did you discover the furry fandom?
Me being a horny kid, I guess. um, I don't know. I liked giant monsters like any other kid, right? And then
Hmm.
as I went through puberty, I guess adult thoughts start to form, and they mix what I liked with these new adult thoughts, and then fast forward to like X amount of years later, and then I have an account in Fur Affinity. Um, as for my name, I I like Corvids, but I also like Falcons, so it's like Corvid sounds too generic, so it's like
Hmm.
I'll add IUS at the end, so that's like okay, Corvidius, and it's like I hope nobody figures out who I am because that was just a lurker account. And then eventually I have a friend called Jackum, which convinced me to upload my furry trash to that, and apparently people like it. So they ended up following me, and then everyone called me Corvidius. And then at that point, I'm like, well, I guess that's my name.
So I have a question.
Hi, what's up?
What one fictional character pulled you into the furry fandom?
Oh,
Like, what was
jeez.
your, or actually, better yet, what was your first furry crush?
Oh, wow.
You think you
actually, I haven't
fucking
really
remember
thought.
that shit?
I,
I
I
remember.
don't
I
even
know
remember
mine.
mine.
I don't mind, unfortunately.
I remember mine.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I guess you can say Godzilla '98.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ew, you fucking
I'm one of them.
macro.
I'm one of them. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
You and Psylocke would be great for shooting a Godzilla movie, and it would be just 2 hours of feet.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I'm
It'd be
working on something
disgusting
like
because
that.
it would step on people and cause blood and death and be
You
like,
have to
oh,
be
that's
careful
sexy.
with that. You have to be careful
my
with that
God.
because you're probably gonna give Psylocke a boner unlike any other, and he's
Jesus
gonna lose
Christ.
consciousness just from the blood rush.
Just because of the fact that it was bloodlust for crushing people to death
Okay. Okay.
in a
That's-
gruesome, bloody fashion. You fucking weirdo.
Oh my god. So these two don't understand why I'm into macro. They assume it's because of the I like to murder people, and that's not
Well,
the.
obviously, all your fucking porno is just you stepping on people and literally
Okay.
killing them
Well,
in a very bloody and gruesome fashion.
that's like
Something
one of them.
something tells me that Psylocke stepped on a Lego once, and then he liked the feeling of it, and he kept on stepping on Legos afterwards.
Oh my god. I am like blushing right now, embarrassment. No,
Fuck.
that's not. Well, I can explain the reason why many are into that later on, but it's not the reason you think. It really isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, no. So you said Godzilla, and I get it. That's like the proverbial go-to answer for most macros at this point of why they got into that part of the furry fandom. Um, what was your? I'm curious. What was your first? Oh, he left. What was your first Godzilla movie that you watched?
I, I, I think it was Godzilla 1998 because I wasn't, I was younger and I wasn't that knowledgeable in like the history of Godzilla. I just saw, oh, giant monster, okay, gonna get it, and then I watched it in blind, and then kind of fell in love. So I'm like, holy crap.
Nice. Yeah, I remember Godzilla 1998. I saw like ads for it all over Taco Bell and everything. And of course, my parents and I would never watched it. And The reviews were kind of terrible, but then again, it's a Godzilla film, and critics don't really like Godzilla films because it's like, oh, it's not aesthetic. The story is so bland and one dimensional. It's just nothing but Godzilla stomping on shit, and it's like, but that is why we're here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't go to a Godzilla movie for the storyline. You go to see the kaijus and the destruction.
Yes.
Yes. So you have the dubious distinction of doing some of the best animations I've personally ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. The best animations I've ever seen. How did you get into animating? Like, what drew you into that?
Well, many
I
people don't
miss
know, but there's
Psylocke talking
I
about
used
how
to
he
use a
has a
program
fetish for
called
killing.
Gary's Mod.
Mm-hmm.
It was just basically a mod for like Half-Life
And
2
stepping
back
on
in
people?
2005 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I learned there was a community that was grown in terms of building like cars, building structures to like important 3D models and 3D assets to ragdoll posing. And what I mainly specialized in was porting models to this engine that allowed you to pose ragdolls from like different games, right? So that kind of opened up an alley to create scenes using any character in almost any actual scene from anything. So from there, I was in there for about 5 years, and it consisted of a community that would critique constructively on people's posing scenes when it comes to things like composition, lighting, even posing and put proper posing, gun posing, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like we would even be critiqued on trigger discipline. I learned a lot about like how gun poses and how to hold rifles and everything through this community.
I heard firearms, and now I'm interested.
I know, right?
Oh my God! Here
I
we
was
go.
wondering what I walked into, and then you said trigger discipline, and I'm like, oh, hold up. This is my territory.
Yeah, no, he likes guns a lot, so
Firearms.
firearms. Excuse me. So you piqued
Oh,
his
shit.
interest.
That's cool.
So Corvidius, what program do you use to animate?
Okay, I use Source Filmmaker, which was basically Valve's own version of Gary's mod, which was released in like 2013 or something, and I've been using that ever since.
Okay, cool. A lot of animators in the furry community, they like to use Source Filmmaker for animating short videos and stuff. I'm guessing it's very easy to use, and there's a lot of resources available to make whatever you want to do happen on Source Filmmaker.
In a way, yes. It's you can say it's easy, but then it comes to a point where how much do you want to invest in a 4-second animation? You could spend 4 hours on a 4-second animation, right? Or you could spend 10 minutes on it. So it kind of gives you the ability to animate, but there's virtually unlimited amount of detail you can add in that animation. So that tool alone allows you to make the animation as smooth or as unrefined as you want. And that's what makes it special, along with a massive community for the Source engine, which is the game engine that it runs.
Yeah, nice. Sharky, you want to talk about guns?
I'm always interested in talking about firearms.
Oh, sorry, firearms. I'm a little tipsy.
The only
You can
time you
tell.
call it a gun is if it's a machine gun or a fucking cannon.
We can tell you're tipsy.
By the way, there's a research study out for people that drink alcohol. Did you know that?
What's
You
that?
There's
can
always
get
a
paid
study
up to
going on for
there,
something.
you can get paid up to $648 just to get like drunk and wasted off your ass and then go in an MRI. Like they will inject
That's a real thing.
alcohol. Yes, they will inject alcohol into your bloodstream while you're just like chilling, and then they will put you under an MRI
Why
and
not just
study
fucking
your.
drink booze? That's more fun.
No, because that takes time.
Oh, duh.
Nah,
It
not if
does.
you chug that bitch, not with the alcohol I drink.
Well, that's not scientific enough, so I guess you got to
200 proof
inject it.
fucking moonshine. Chug that bitch and try not to go blind.
Oh
So nice,
God.
nice.
Anyway, Sharky, you wanna take the mic
Yes.
and talk
You
about
wanna a-
firearms?
you wanna ask
Yeah,
him a
what
question?
were we talking about firearms wise?
Trigger discipline.
Well, that's boring.
Do you?
It's literally keep finger off trigger until you're ready to destroy something. That's it.
No, I had a question though. So you live in Canada. Um, what do you like most about living in Canada? I'm generally curious.
How relaxed everyone is, and well, two things: how relaxed everyone is, and how multicultural it is.
If you were
A
gonna
lot
say
of
universal health care, I was gonna call bullshit because your taxes would be shit.
Oh, here we go.
Here he goes.
Oh
No,
yeah.
yeah. No, I. So with Canada, I mean, I. It seems like a nice country. I just think that it would be too cold for me to live there. I don't know. That's probably a stereotype, but it's probably not as cold as I think it is. But it, from what I've seen, it does seem like a nice country, especially Atlantic Canada. If I were to move to Canada, it would be up in that part near the Canadian Maritimes because it looks so nice up there.
Oh
It's
yeah, very
like
nice.
it is, and there's like nothing. There's like no really big cities besides Halifax. I'm guessing and maybe another one, but
Yeah, not many. I mean, there's Prince Edward Island, and the whole island is basically a city, but not much out there in terms of the Atlantic. But you do get the authentic experience if you go to Eastern Canada for sure, around that side.
oh, that's what I would want. Yeah, I'd buy like a plot of land, get a big house, put like make sure there's nobody around me, okay, and I'd invite y'all up there. We have a party, and we just go crazy for like a week. Just party for a week nonstop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can even have our own furry convention.
Nice.
Oh heck yeah!
Well, you have Fur which is a small convention. I forget where it is, but
I think it's
have you ever?
Toronto.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Fur or any other furry conventions in Canada?
Actually, ironically, no, because here's the thing about Canada that not many people know about. Canada has a population that's like smaller than the population of California. So, with that said,
That's
um,
not hard.
basically there's a lot of monopolies and there's not enough competition. So, travel within Canada is very expensive. So you don't really see many Canadians traveling across Canada to furry conventions compared to the United States, where you guys pay like $100 to east and west to like Chicago to Seattle or something, or 200, but we would be paying about $1,000 plus to go to Eastern.
Even
Are
on
you
WestJet?
serious?
Yeah, it depends on the time of season too, and that's a round trip too.
Oh my
Yep.
It'd be cheaper
God.
just to fucking drive. Or is
Yeah,
gas
it's-
there
well-
expensive as shit too?
Oh yeah, it's very expensive. Because
Fuck you,
well,
Canada.
Well, it comes at a price in a way, but if you can look past that, it's that's why I actually travel
If
to
you look
another.
past the horrible, strenuous price gouging, then yeah.
Well, it just allows you to. It puts you in an opportunity to think outside the box, because
But,
there's an opportunity in everything.
But
What if I want to drive my tank?
You can
You've a-
just find out more ways to make more money, pretty much.
But see, Canada has WestJet, which is basically Canada's version of Southwest, and yet airfare is still that expensive.
Yes, because taxes and price of fuel.
I
And
can't
the two
believe
companies
it's.
that exist.
I can't believe it would cost $1,000 to go from Toronto to Vancouver based
Well,
on
I'm
what you're telling
exaggerating
me.
actually. Well, I'm exaggerating. Let me see. Well, on the Christmas times for sure, I could just do flights to Toronto. Ooh, if I were to do it, $400. I think
Ooh.
one way. I don't know. I'd have to check. But it's basically it's It's like, okay, you want to fly to Toronto, and you pay 400 to $500 depending on how soon you want it,
Uh-huh.
or would you rather pay $600 and fly to Berlin and go to Eurofurence, right?
Yeah.
So I'd rather just go to Europe, right? That's pretty much why I go to Eurofurence and why I don't go to Furry.
Have you ever been to MFF?
Yes, a few times. Actually, my first MFF and my first experience of Chicago or Rosemont's was Chlorine Con. And I was like, wow, is this how Americans party?
Oh no, you were actually at that one with
That
with
was
a
my first
chlorine gas
MFF.
attack hat? Oh
was my
Oh
no.
my
That was
God!
my first 2014, I
No,
think it
you
was.
poor
2015?
thing.
No, 2016.
Did you die?
That was 2014.
No, but I was on the dance floor at midnight in shorts and t-shirt until I was escorted out in like I guess in your language 10 Fahrenheit or something. 10 F2C. It was pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
So-
that didn't turn you away from furries? Man, you should have left at that point. That's like a bad omen right there. You should have left.
I like the benefit of give the benefit of the doubt
a
for
little
sure.
chlorine never hurt anyone.
I would have been like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Y'all are crazy. But, no, what other cons have you been to? I'm curious.
Well, Vancouver for one, Eurofurence, Midwest Fur Fest, Anthrocon actually in 2014. There was one in Sydney, I forgot, Sydney, Australia.
Oh, that
I
one's,
think-
Wow.
I think that's
Oh yeah, I've been all around the
dude.
world, pretty much. But not to furry conventions, though.
Ah. Now, do you have plans on going to any furry conventions in 2019?
I want to go to MFF, but I mean, like, is I'd rather save that money and invest it into something that would generate returns for the next year.
It's probably best to just skip this
Yeah.
year. With the whole
Yeah.
room stuff, it's
I mean,
probably
it's. But the thing is that it's the 20th anniversary of Midwest Fur Fest, and oh my God, they haven't learned a damn thing.
best. They'll be there next year. If, hopefully. We'll see.
You say that now.
Stranger
like,
things have happened.
no, that you okay. Fly back to January 1st, 2019. Everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, Thomas Cook Airlines, that'll be here next year," and look what happened today.
MFF ain't going anywhere.
Well, they said that about what Wow Airlines too. Look where they are now.
Well, see, that's different. Those are airlines. This is a furry convention. As
Well,
long
they
as-
said that. Well, no. They said that about Rainforest in 2016, and guess what happened?
Well, that's. Oh God, I'm not going to talk about rainforest.
Oh yeah, Rainforest. I went to that one too.
Oh God,
Oh, dude.
Actually,
You
okay,
have-
here's another first
you've
experience.
experienced the worst of the furry community.
My first Rainforest, after some tons of my Seattle friends started to convince me finally after years, like, come on, you gotta go, it's just south of the border. So I finally go to it. My first Rainforest was its last. So I'm like, is this how Rainforest usually is?
Oh my
So I
God.
got great first impressions of two conventions.
You poor thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I had been through
You
that, I
unlucky
would have left the
bitch.
fandom because that's just. I'm sorry. That's weird. I can't. A chlorine gas attack is one thing, but seeing what happened at Rainforest, yeah, that's something else.
Yeah.
That's
You can say that.
I don't know how diapers get on cars. That's all I'm going to say. That's
They
very
get on
trifling. I don't want to know.
diapers. Get on cars from diaper furs. Diaper furs put the diapers on the cars because they think, oh, it needs a diaper. They think everything needs a diaper.
Diapers are disgusting.
I'm just saying that, and they were clogging up the hot tubs. Apparently, it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, the hot tub needed a diaper. There you go.
Well,
You,
no.
What do you mean?
That person used a
clogging?
towel. Actually, I don't know.
Explain what
They
you
were
mean.
drunk. They thought the towel was a diaper.
It's like you. They're drunk like you.
Explain to me what you mean by clogging the hot
So
tub.
what allegedly had happened was they were putting the towels in one of the vents. I don't know.
They were putting the towels in the. They were putting the towels in the jets that pump out water into the tub. You know the little vent the little jets that you love to sit on because it massages your back. even though you're not really supposed to sit in front of it. It's supposed to pump fresh water back into the tub that's been already filtered. No, they stuck a towel in there and made the pump explode.
Oh, what cunts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that just one thing led to another, and that whole weekend was the end of rainforest. So, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
kids don't do that. That's stupid.
Well,
Good
if you're a
times.
responsible pool owner, you know never to do that.
Yeah, but
No matter if you're drunk, high, or on
yeah,
meth.
just don't. Yeah, use common sense, guys. Like, come on.
Ah.
That will kill a furry convention quicker than, I don't know, the Proud Boys and Milo. But you, as far as the Canadian conventions go, you mentioned what's it, Vancouver? I always forget it.
Vancouver.
Yeah, I always
Yes,
end up saying
Vancouver.
I always end up saying Vancouver instead of Vancouver. But yeah, that convention. I'm not gonna say it because I can't pronounce it because I'm stupid. That convention in Vancouver, California. Vancouver, Canada.
You're about to say Vancouver,
No,
California.
I wasn't. Fake news. Vancouver, Canada, Canada.
Ah,
Yes, that I do want to do that one next year.
Awesome.
I've wanted to do Vancouver for a while now. It's just the timing has been so bad for me with work, and then another convention. I think it's Furthermore, which is local to us, is always right around there, and it's like you have to choose between that or going up to Canada, and it's a money thing, and so
so while we're on the topic of Canada, I want to ask you, Corvidius, what is one of the biggest or some of the biggest misconceptions you've heard from other people about Canada? Like, tell us about the biggest misconceptions you've heard from other people about Canada who aren't Canadians.
Uh, it's always cold, which is very false. And what else? That
Is it true that your blood is maple syrup?
yes.
I believe that.
Oh,
Is it true that your milk comes in bags?
Yes
That's a-
and no.
What?
Depends where you are in Canada. That's the thing. It's more of an Eastern Canada. In the
bags are
Atlantic side-
wrong.
In the Atlantic side, you'll be able to find milk in bags for sure. Like I said, you'll get a really real Canadian stereotypical
They're real.
experience.
Just remember, kids, bags are wrong. They're just
They're
wrong.
actually real. Oh my god.
Well,
I want
here's-
one now.
You
there's
want
one
bagged
thing.
milk? Get
Yes.
the fuck out.
I don't know where the stereotype came from, but the stereotype came from someone looking at a very, very small, specific, far away, small town in Canada, and then now everyone thinks Canada's like that. The equivalent of outsiders thinking everything's like Texas. Do you agree everything is not like Texas in America?
Yes.
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 Exactly. So we are very different. Like Eastern Canada versus Western Canada, a whole different world.
Now, is there any part of the United States that you really, really want to explore and experience that you haven't yet?
That's what I like about the states. There's so many different cultures, different states. It's like their own little world in a way. I mean, there's
Yeah,
Cali,
come to
there's
Maryland.
San
We'll get you
Fran.
crabs.
I hear things about Maryland that I don't know. That would make me want to focus on
that
things.
makes me very, very interested to hear what
it's
you've heard
Maryland.
about us.
Well, it's Baltimore.
Other
That's
than
what I hear.
other than Baltimore wanting to
Oh,
literally
God.
shank
That's
you.
what I hear. That's what
Other
I hear.
than-
So
Well, there's nothing wrong with Baltimore. What's wrong with Baltimore?
Okay, well.
Yeah, we'll shank you if you come here.
Besides the bad issues with
You love
Baltimore.
saying the word shank.
He does shank people though. He shanked me.
Really?
What?
No, you dingus, it's a joke.
No, he shanked you out of love. He loved you. so
I
he
shanked you with my dick.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay, there you go. See?
No- God damn it, I'm tongue tied. No, shut up. No, Jesus. I don't even have a response for that. No, you're not wrong. Like the good thing about America is you got 50. Yes, there's 50. Make sure there's 50 different, like more or less cultures you have to explore, and that's the good thing about America. So you really can't go wrong with visiting, one over the other. Uh, with Canada, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, really, in
You
Canada.
go to
if you
Canada,
think
you
about
enter there
that.
once, you've seen it all.
Well, no, because not every part of Canada is the same.
You're right. You go to 2 parts of Canada, and then you've seen it all.
No, no. Prince Edward Island is different than British Columbia. I guarantee you that. Same with
Well, let's ask the Canadian then.
Same with the
Saskatchewan. But yeah,
Huh?
you were
That
close. You're very
place.
close. You're very
Canadian.
close. I'll give
Is
you
it
points
all
for
the
that.
same?
No, it isn't. But
Touchdown.
anyway, I would definitely welcome you with open arms, Starlocks. You say the word, and then I'll make plans. I'll show you all over Canada, from mountains to lakes to we'll even go to special waterfalls if you want that kind of nature experience. So.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Actually, I have a few Canadian buddies up there. I got one that was in the Canadian military. I know a few others that are still serving. A lot of my Canadian buddies were military based because I'm prior military. So,
Nice.
and everything
That's awesome.
every time I hear something from it, it's usually this fucking place sucks. And I'm like,
Well,
okay.
I can see from that
Especially
French point of view.
way up north.
Oh yeah. You don't want to go there. It's pretty much like First Nations and snow. There's nothing up there. Small towns. Canada has a
Yeah,
lot of
they're
First
like
Nations.
they're like up there on bases and stuff, and they're like, oh man, I'm like literally a walking distance from the fucking North Pole, and I'm like, ah,
I
Fuck
would
you.
love to do. I would love to do a podcast in Canada, and then we all get together and we just get drunk on Labatt Blue or Molson. Whatever,
Oh my
whatever
God.
the.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we have
Okay,
over
talk
100
about
local
Canadian
microbreweries.
beers.
We
Talk about
have
Canadian
one-
beers.
Okay, there's a place in Vancouver called Craft, and that used to be an old salt warehouse, import-export for big trains. We had a huge salt mine, and then that closed down in 1980, and then that was converted to a huge building that has over 100 beers on tap on draft, and that's all from BC. We have microbreweries everywhere, all over our province.
Yeah, wow. Nice.
You want from amber ale, you want IPA, you want a stout, you want a Hefeweizen style, you want a Belgian white. I mean, you got everything.
That would be cool to do a podcast, and we're just taking shots of different beers, and
Oh, we
then
give you sliders.
and then by the time we're done with the podcast, we'd all be so fucking wasted that we'd be
Oh, Lord.
we'd be struggling to hit the end podcast button.
I think that's a great idea, Lifty.
Yeah, you definitely. I know a good place. To
That
do
would be awesome.
Wow, I can't believe she posted that. No, I think that's.
I can't
awesome
believe who
idea.
posted what now.
Don't worry about that. That's none of your business, honey.
Is it the Furry Frequencies chat?
No. It's work stuff. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
They send me-
we'll post it in the Furry Frequencies
No,
chat.
I
so that
really
we can
can't
all,
post this,
So
no.
that we so we can all laugh at it.
No,
We've laughed at
sharing
worse
is
stuff.
caring, you fucking bastard.
maybe, but no. God, I've never tried Canadian beer. I'm not a beer person myself, but
That's because you don't drink.
I don't know.
Have you ever watched Strange Brew?
Strange brew. What's that?
It's a movie with Rick Moranis in it,
Oh.
and
Him.
that other dude from Dumb and Dumber, Jeff Daniels, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's Jeff
And-
Daniels.
Yeah, and they they go on this adventure to find this beer to go. It is the biggest. It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but Canadian, and everything revolves around just going for beer.
Oh, our beer culture. That's true. We have a huge beer culture here.
Yeah, I mean they get onto all these weird hijinks, all for beer. It's awesome.
Wow. That's it. I would watch that. That seems kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, it's a fun, silly movie. To
Yeah.
just watch while you're drunk.
Wow, I'm drunk. But
Well, I mean, it's about beer. Well, everything that they do revolves around them wanting to get more beer because they ran out of beer.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the story of my life.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. But
Yeah.
let's segue, and I said the word correctly, unlike Lifty who says something else. Let's segue to
What?
you heard I didn't stutter, did
You
I?
said it wrong. You said it wrong.
How,
Isigwai.
it's segue.
Isigwai.
It's segue.
Isigwai.
I'm not gonna entertain this
God damn it.
conversation. Let's segue to
Sigwai.
fuck you. Macro micro. Alright, so I make no qualms about this. I'm into macro. Corvidius is also into macro. I think these two have kind of a weird conception about what macro micro actually is.
So I'm gonna cut to the chase for
Feet
Psylocke.
stepping on people or being stepped on.
Corvidius, what is your thoughts on feet?
Oh my god, why would
Well,
you?
feet and or
IRL
paws.
Feet? IRL
Well,
feet,
feet
drawn
and
feet,
or paws.
So we're talking, okay, so feet in general.
Human
Well-
feet.
I would say I can understand why people like it, and more power to them. It's not my thing, but I would support them in
Good.
whatever they do.
Human feet are fucking disgusting. Having seen firsthand what my feet have turned into and then reverted back to normal while in the army, I can never look at feet the same again.
Yeah,
You are kink shaming Psylocke so hard right now.
Oh my god. Okay, so yes, one of the things about macro is and micro, yes, feet or paws, they play a big part in it. I know some people are into stepping on other people or crushing things, and that itself is a whole messy subject, and I'm not going to get into that. But despite what y'all think, when it comes to macro and the art I get, it's not about me wanting to kill people. I'm not into that. It's a power thing. Like it's legit a power
Well,
dynamic.
actually, that's a good thing. Let's have you
So
and
the power to
Corvidius
step on people?
discuss the
Destroy them?
psychology
It's a little bit.
behind macro fetishes.
So it's literally a power thing. Like it's sort of like you know how some people are into I guess BDSM, how that's like, a master and a whatever the opposite of a master is.
Oh, honey, that's tame shit, man.
But no, it's like that dynamic. For me, it's about power, being in control.
Is
all
it because
that.
you're little?
I'm not. It might be. I don't know. I know a lot of macros in real life that
Every
are
macro
pretty small.
I've met is
pretty short.
small.
Yeah, I've heard that stereotype too. I don't know if it's true or not, but there might be some Freudian stuff to that. But yeah, it's not because we're serial killers, trust me. That's not true at all. We're some of the kindest people you'll ever meet.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
from my experience.
So, what does macro mean to you, Corvidius? Like, take us through the psychology of macro through your eyes.
I would see it as, well, I would add on to Psylocke saying it's a power play kind of thing, but I would add on to it saying it's more like a catalyst. So, say you're like paws, right? If you have a giant paws, there's just more paw. Or if you have like who are into tails or into other parts of the body, it's just more of it, right? And that combined of more of what you like with power play and at such a size difference allows for so much more so much more opportunity for a vastly different scene instead of just like, oh look, two furries going at it on a bed in a bedroom. Yeah, there we go. But to have such big size differences, it could be like a building size, or it could be a continent size. I mean, there's no real like limit to how you want to create your own scene.
The fuck was that?
That
was almost-
I.
What was that? Dubstep? That was like a dubstep
I
recording
might actually have to
happening.
sample that
Yeah, sample that.
in my
That
next
sounded awesome.
in my next EP. I will have to sample that. That's
Oh my
amazing.
god, what the fuck? What is wrong with our audio this evening?
I think it's no, it's the I legit think it's Cast that's doing that. It's Cast because this wasn't going on when I was on Discord earlier today. It's a
Okay.
Cast thing. Yeah, Cast is acting up,
This
so I
is
don't
bullshit.
know why it's doing that. I'll have to clean up the audio a bit when I do editing.
Okay. Sorry about that, Corvidius.
Oh, that's okay.
We had some audio issues earlier.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
having
it's
everything
it's a
go
Cast
wrong.
issue. Like I said, I
It's so
will have to clean up
wrong.
everything once I edit this. I don't know why it's acting like this today.
That's alright.
Anyway.
We just take little breaks here in between.
Just threaten cast.
Anyway.
You'll fuck it.
Where do we leave off?
Oh yeah, it's like having such a size difference offers so much more opportunity to different kinds of scenes, from like building size to like I don't know, like football field size. You know, and it offers such a different scene compared to the usual like bedroom scene where two furries are doing their thing, right? So that's what I like about macro, because it expands the mind and allows one to think outside the box, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
Incites
So,
creativity.
what are your thoughts on Togepi 1125's art and
Oh
videos?
God, I knew you'd ask
We
that.
we have to bring him up because he's a very prominent commissioner in this genre of fetishes. I don't know what we want to talk about. But yeah, talk about Togepi 1125 because yeah, I know you have everybody's seen his videos and his art. Especially if you're into macro, you've seen his art.
So I like real quick. I when I first joined the macro community and I saw E621, I saw the macro Star Fox stuff. So I thought this was a thing, and it was a whole bunch of people commissioning all this. Little did I know until I found out it was one person doing all this. So I was like, holy fuck, this guy must have a lot of money to do all this. I actually like the stuff he gets, believe it or not.
Yeah, yeah,
It's hot.
it's good shit, but at the same time, it's
I'm,
like imagine having so much disposable income and you just blow it on macro furry porn.
I mean, I do that.
I want to say this. I want to say that the dude that does all this, I don't believe he's a surgeon.
No,
I believe
is.
I believe he's Jack Ma.
He's who?
Jack Ma.
I don't know who that is.
That's the person behind Alibaba.
AliExpress.
Alibaba. Ali.
But
Yeah, Alibaba
I don't
Express.
know what that.
Jack
Oh,
Ma
the
is
Chinese.
Chinese and
Yeah,
and Togepi is
Togepi's
Korean.
Yeah, he's from South Korea.
Okay, never mind. It's not Jack Ma.
Very
Yeah.
different cultures. Very different.
Yeah, no, Togepi is, from what I've been told, he is a. I forgot what kind of surgeon he is, but he is a surgeon. I've been told he's one of the best in the country, if not the best. So yeah, he earns a lot, and if he wants to spend his money on this, more power to him. All I'm saying is, I'd
I'm
like to
just
see
looking at
more
the
Giant Wolf. That's all I'm saying.
No, because he's always the tiny dude, like that Falco or Fox is slipping into their speedos so that he could be crushed by their balls or something, or that he takes Tiny Wolf and just like slips it into the dick.
Oh God, there's so many.
Falco loves to just tease and play and just fuck with Wolf like that because, hey, Wolf's been a dick for so long. Now that I'm huge, I can be a dick to him in my dick.
Creativity, right there. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
that's that.
I just have no comment on what you're saying.
So it
My
like
brain's
okay,
like,
it's
what
not
the fuck.
It's not the weirdest fetish out there. It really isn't. Compared to some of the other stuff that's in this fandom, it is pretty tame. When you think about it, it's pretty tame. It's not hurting anybody. It's not controversial. It's very tame. It's just, I know, sweetie. I know that's a lot of things.
It
We've
hurts
been
my
over this,
brain.
but no, I look. I make no qualms about it. I'm into that. If people want to know more about it, I'm up for always telling them about it. Yeah, it's a fun
Okay.
thing. You meet lots of cool people, and you have fun.
Yeah. So, moving on, do we want to talk about our other topics?
No.
Yes, we do.
Oh God.
What other topic?
Anyway, so
You know my conditions on this. You do not stray beyond him.
anyway, so last week we talked about MFF and how they banned a certain individual who is known for being a provocateur regarding political discourse in this country, and yet again, he did not care. He's still coming anyway, and he's bringing a bunch of other people that are also provocateurs of same political rhetoric. So, what I want to talk about though is that there is a point that kind of flew over just about everybody's head when that happened. And that is that they made that MFF sent out a press release. They went through all this hoopla. They created this whole media circus over banning this certain individual. Everybody knows who he is because if you're listening to our last podcast, of course you'd know who he is. I don't have to say his name. But here's what I want to bring up. They said that they're doing this over an abundance of safety and caution for the attendees. And so here's my thing. They've created a double standard here because this certain individual that they have banned from MFF didn't even do anything. He did not do anything to furries, to MFF, to anybody related to those two parties at all. And yet he got banned for life. And yet there is an actual attendee that has come to MFF and has gone all 3 days, without any 3 or 4 days without, being hung up on anything or being held up by MFF staff at all. And that is Growly. And Growly has attended MFF, he's attended BLFC, he's attended FWA, he's attended Anthrocon without ever being fettered by staff over the fact that he has been on the sex offender registry while attending these conventions. So here's what I'm saying. If MFF wants to ban for doing absolutely nothing but having shitty opinions, which is essentially just saying, well, yeah, we have the right to ban anybody for anything at any time, then why can't they do the same for Growly? Why can't they produce a press release saying we are no longer welcoming sex offenders or anybody who's on the sex offender registry to our event over an abundance of caution for our attendees? That's what I want to say. They went through all this hype and all this press media bullshit to remove one individual for doing absolutely nothing, and yet they have not said anything. They haven't lifted a finger against an actual individual on the sex offender registry that was able to roam freely on their convention while being on the sex offender registry. Like, where I want a response to that. Like, do you think that this is right? Is this normal? I mean, I know that Growly is in jail right now. He's serving time because he got caught with child pornography again, but they could still at least do a symbolic response. They can do a symbolic press release saying, we know about Growly, and we will no longer allow people like that on our convention.
I'm I'm sure that he's
Even
banned.
though I'm pretty sure
I'm
that's
sure he's
not
banned.
true.
I'm
No.
sure that
With their
he's,
track
he's
record.
banned.
Are you sure, though?
I'm just
Yes,
gonna keep
he's
interrupting you.
he's a convicted. God damn it!
You don't get
Well,
to
he
talk.
was on the sex offender registry and he
No
wasn't
talking,
banned. That's my
Sala.
problem.
I'm sure he's
He
banned.
he was on the sex offender registry and he still went. Like, yeah, I mean, do you not see the disconnect here? I would feel a lot better just seeing MFF go through the trouble of presenting a press release, creating and presenting a press release to say, hey, Growly and other sex offenders are banned from our convention. We do not welcome them because they are a danger to our attendees, especially our younger attendees. Why can't they do that? They went through all the trouble of banning that certain individual with the nice hair and the MAGA hat and the shitty opinions for doing absolutely nothing. And yet, they didn't do anything for Growly. They just, I mean, okay, let me say this. What if,
Oh, there it goes. I turned myself off.
no. What if, or what is the speculation that had Growly not been arrested, he would have went to MFF this year? He went to all those other conventions
God,
I
keep
named.
turning myself off. Don't think he would have gone
Why do you say that?
because people would have pressured MFF to do a response.
They pressured all these other conventions to do a response. They even pressured MFF to do a response
Well-
about it last year, and they didn't do
Well,
anything.
the tides are changing now that Texas Furry Fiesta has pretty much said that people on sex offender lists aren't welcome.
Mhm.
There's
And
precedent
I
now.
think
There's precedent now to do that.
there's a precedent there, but there's also a precedent here. MFF. Oh, okay.
I'm going to use that Corv
He just deleted himself.
as a what do you I'm going to use that in my newest no I'm using that in my
Just
next song because
deleted
that is
himself
just
from
perfect for me.
existence.
I want to hear that, and I want us to use that as our next intro audio for.
It's just going to sound like that as a loop for like 15 seconds.
It's gonna sound like an electronic fart.
I, I, I don't know what I would call that.
But anyway, I think that had he not been caught and had he not been arrested, Growly would have still went to MFF, and MFF staff would have not done anything. MFF staff, actually, you know what? Nobody would know about Growly coming to MFF until he was there. That's the same thing that happened. Growly did not make a spectacle about him going, or at least he usually doesn't. Well, sometimes he still does tweets about where he went. So that's what I'm thinking. I think if he wasn't caught, if he wasn't arrested, he would have still went to MFF, and MFF wouldn't have done anything. People raised a stink about seeing him in videos and images that people have taken at MFF, and MFF has not said anything. They went all through the year without saying anything about Growly being at their convention. So what I'm saying is MFF has set a precedent by being able to ban anyone, regardless of what reason, at any time, and refund their admission at any time. So if they can do that, they need to own it. And they need to come back and say, hey, we know that there are sex offenders in the fandom. We know who they are. We are listening to you. And we are officially keeping these people out of MFF. We do not welcome these people at MFF. That's all they have to do.
Yeah. No,
It is not.
I get
It
you.
is nothing. It is nothing hard. It is nothing that requires time, a lot of time or money to just put out a presser saying, hey, we do not welcome sex offenders in our convention. We are taking the example set by Texas Furry Fiesta, and we are going to say that these people are not welcome out of an abundance of caution for our attendees. Because that's the same thing they said about Milo. And again, and what I... Oh, shit. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. They said the same thing about him.
Got him.
They said the same thing about him.
I don't get it now.
And what I'm saying is he didn't have to do anything. Actually, the smartest thing for him to do was to not do anything. And that's what I said last week. And he probably wouldn't have done anything. Probably went in, out, and be done with it. But now they've created a media circus about all that, and now that's their dumpster fire to put out, whatever. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the topic.
No, I get that, and I appreciate your 2 cents on that topic. Thank you. But
Yep.
I will still maintain that I'm telling you, going forward, he is banned. He's in jail, first of all, and he's probably going to be in jail for a long time now going forward. So I doubt that he'll be back at MFF for
But he
years.
is not the only one. I bet you dollars to donuts he is not the only one. There are pedophiles and zoophiles in this community. Some of them are open about it. Some of them are proud about it. I don't know why. But I think conventions need to wake up and be vigilant of these people. And they need to step up and say, we do not welcome these people in our convention. We want to create a safe space. Okay, if you want to create a safe space for all, then you need to make sure that the sexual deviants, the people that are an actual threat to people who are attending, who want to have a good time at the convention, that those people, the people that are attending that want to just have a good time and have a safe time at a convention, they are protected from the people that are sexual deviants.
Okay. I can respect that. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
I mean, we bitch and moan about pedophiles and zoophiles on this show way too often
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us to finally get soft just because Growly's in jail. I'm like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going until some people start waking up. And that's not the alcohol talking either.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're inebriated at the moment.
Slightly.
I'll
Just slightly.
stay away from mentioning the town that begins with an H because I don't want you to get triggered by that.
The what now?
The town that begins with an H in Virginia. You know which one I'm talking about.
Hanover?
Herndon.
Hey! That place does not exist.
You see, Corv, this is like the easiest way to trigger this Lifty. Just mention Herndon and he'll get upset.
Stop!
Do I sense a backstory as to why?
He just hates it irrationally.
No, it just does not exist.
So
I hate that people keep saying, "Oh yeah, it exists. It exists.
So
it's out
Google
there."
Maps has Herndon on its map. Herndon has a mayor, so clearly it exists. It's a census designated place, so clearly it exists.
It does not exist.
You're just a
at all.
salty little
No.
bitch, but that's a different
It
discussion.
does not exist.
Oh,
It's
sweetheart.
You know what all that is called? It's called
What is
Dulles. That's all that matters.
Okay, bro.
In that area, that's all that matters.
okay.
Dulles.
Okay. So,
That's all that is. Dulles.
good Lord of mercy. So yeah, no. Actually, Corv, I did want to ask you something. Do you live in Vancouver proper or the suburbs?
I live in the suburbs, but nobody really knows where that is, so I just say Vancouver.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of the DC area in a way, because you think about it, because honestly, the way DC's getting expanding, I don't even know where that is anymore. So yeah, no, I can relate, but
In other news, I would highly recommend that if you're
Oh,
coming
you're
to the
still
United
going.
States, yes. What? Give me a minute. If you ever want to visit the United States, I would highly recommend that you come to Arlington. Arlington's great.
So why must you be weird?
What's
No,
Arlington? What is an Arlington?
Arlington is the pinnacle of living in Virginia. It is one of the greatest communities in the country.
Here he
It
goes.
is. It is been consistent. It has consistently been
Too
rated
much
as
like a
one
city.
of the top
It sucks.
5. Shut up. It has consistently been rated as one of the top 5 best communities to live in America.
You keep telling me it's not a city.
Yeah, that
but
could be
all
anywhere.
I see is city-like
But no, it's
structures,
not a
and I'm
city.
like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, there's nothing in Arlington. There's nothing
Quiet
there.
you. Quiet
There's
you.
the Pentagon and the airport. That's about it.
Quiet you. No, no, there's plenty to do and plenty to see
I
in
doubt that.
Arlington.
I doubt that.
Come to Arlington.
Okay.
This guy is literally on the tourism board.
Oh.
He has an agenda. Don't listen to him. But no, seriously. Cool.
No, no, seriously, we have a furry convention. Come to Arlington.
Yeah, we do. We have furthermore. That's in March this year. Next year.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know why I keep thinking it's April, but they moved it up. Yeah.
Okay, I do want to go to more conventions in 2020. So I mean,
Yeah, furthermore, 2020 is March 6th through the 8th in Arlington, Virginia.
that's when Vancouver is happening.
Yeah. That's that dilemma. It's like it's a dilemma.
Yeah, I gotta support. You know, you gotta support your own
Yeah,
place,
you
right?
do.
So more power. You support your place. I support my home too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I may have
That's
to
fair.
come up to Vancouver in 2021.
Oh shit. Okay, yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I might do that, and also do Euroference that year as well. Do like a whole
Yes.
international con thing. Cause I keep telling Draxi I'm gonna come out there. And it's like
Yeah, you
when are
gotta
you
do it.
coming
You
out?
have to.
Like eventually.
You have to. It's so fun.
I
Europeans,
know.
They know how to party, but they're really chill about it. Like when you go to Euroferns, there's like not one fire truck or ambulance outside the whole convention, compared to like Midwest Fur
Seriously?
Fest. Yeah, I know, right? And they drink a lot.
What? That's amazing.
I know. It's so like pretty
This
chill.
year I heard that there were like 7 ambulances at Eurofurence for some reason.
Oh
But
shit!
I
What
never.
happened there?
I have no idea. They just said, oh, 7 ambulances were called to Eurofurence, and then I saw the pictures of the ambulances, and like, the fuck's going on over there?
Wow, someone must have like
Really
Someone-
overdid themselves.
invite
Yeah.
me to that party. That's for sure.
Party in the ambulance.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
party never
now.
stops.
BYOB.
And yeah, bring your own beer. It's like you can just buy beer easily and just drink it anywhere you want on the streets, or it's crazy.
What?
Yeah,
You
Wow.
can do
it's
that
legal,
there?
It's legal to drink outside in public in Berlin. I literally just go to the store that's open like 24/7, buy my favorite beer or whatever, and then drink it anywhere.
Wow.
Shit.
Nice.
Damn.
I gotta make my way to Europe
should
one
to
day because
Eurofurence.
I've never been to Europe.
I-
I've
you
only
got
been to Canada, Panama, outside of the U.S. and that's it.
I've been to Japan, London, and I went to Paris for a day. That was my extent of going to continental Europe. Yeah, so I definitely want to do more of Europe next time.
Your
I want to
friends
go
sounds
to
good,
Amsterdam.
Well, yeah, because
Oh,
you
it's
just
so
want
great.
the free weed. That's why you want to go there. You just want the weed.
I
Just
love
come to
stroop
Canada.
waffles.
Oh yeah, it's legal in Canada. That's right.
Of course.
See, if I wanted free weed, I could just go to Canada.
Go to Canada and score some weed.
I want stroop waffles. I want authentic
Ah.
stroop waffles that you heat up on your cup.
Street waffles with
On your
weed.
coffee. They're so amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I freaking went to Switch's place when I laid over from Croatia, and then he showed me the authentic Dutch Amsterdam stroop waffles. Well, not Amsterdam, but and I bought like a shitload of them and brought them to my family, and they loved it.
Oh damn!
Nice.
I want to go to Amsterdam now, just for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just for that.
I wanna fly on KLM and eat the disgusting corkers, and then go into
KLM.
Amsterdam and yes, and then go to
Um,
go to Amsterdam and eat in and get a cup of coffee and a stroopwafel, put the stroopwafel on top of my cup, and then heat it up and eat the deliciousness that is a authentic Dutch stroopwafel that's melt in your mouth. Oh my God,
Oh boy.
I'm,
Nice.
I'm yes.
Don't get him started, please. He'll go from
It'll
0
be
to 100.
I can imagine it'd be 10 times better than the stroopwafel I had on the United flight.
Oh my god. On a plane too? No, yeah, no, that's not a good experience.
You just go to McDonald's and get a stroopwafel. They sell them now.
They don't sell them anymore.
They stopped
McDonald's
selling
sells
those.
poutine?
Yes, and I just want a stroopwafel. I don't want a stroopwafel McFlurry.
Oh, they don't sell
Big
poutine
flurry.
down here. Unfortunately, they don't sell them down here.
Oh, you poor sweet summer child.
Now, if McDonald's sells poutine, it's probably not good. It's probably
No, you're right.
processed fake
That's
stuff.
garbage.
I figured.
When
yeah.
you come here, I will show you the best poutine here.
Is it at Tim Hortons?
No, Tim Hortons is actually garbage. If you ask me, Canadian,
What?
Yeah.
You know, I was sad because when I went to the Mall of America recently, they had a Tim Hortons, and the storefront was still there, but it was all boarded up. And I was sad because I was like, come on. This is the closest I've ever gotten to a Tim Hortons and it's closed down? What the hell?
Don't do that. Okay, well, okay, so Tim Hortons, if you look up to who owns Tim Hortons, it's 4G Capital and Berkshire Hathaway. So basically, a Brazil guy and America. So that's what America and Brazil owns Tim Hortons, and they've been going downhill ever since 15 to 18 years ago when they changed their recipe with things, and it's just nobody goes to Tim Hortons anymore.
I just wanted some fucking Timbits, okay?
Yeah, I mean, Timbits are still really good. Whenever I visit Furries in Seattle, it's just like a 3-hour train ride from here, I bring a shitload of Timbits, and I always joke with you guys, border. I remember when I was going through American border, and I carried like maybe 5 bags of Timbits, like, and then the border guy was like, "Sir, you've exceeded the maximum number of Timbits allowed on your person." And then we were joking around, and I offered them Timbits and everything. Everyone loves it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. If you want to send me Timbits, I will pay for the shipping to ship Timbits to my house.
What are Timbits? I'm gonna Google that now.
What are Timbits? Oh, okay. Look it up and be like
The best thing ever. The best Canadian thing ever.
Timbits.
so many
Oh,
flavors.
one last question. One last question, Corvidius.
Hi.
What are your thoughts on Don Cherry?
I think he speaks a lot of his mind, whether or not people find him controversial. I think the thing he has is he always speaks his mind, and that's something that is very passionate about what he does in life.
How do you feel about his fashion sense?
Oh, his suits? Oh, I mean, he definitely he has, you know what? He has the confidence to do whatever the heck he wants, and he does not give a shit about what people think about him.
Well, I mean, he's 85. Of course he wouldn't give a shit.
Exactly, and that's why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh.
I mean, I would love to shake the man's hand while he's wearing like a pink flamingo suit or something.
Oh,
Because I'm just like, oh my god, you are wearing this. This is beautiful. This is kitsch, but it's beautiful kitsch.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Don Cherry is a Canadian icon. He's a Canadian treasure. Just like the book Bear.
What?
Wow.
Like if you had like
Sweetie.
an American, like if you had a museum of Canadianness, you'd have Don Cherry, you'd have the book Bear, you'd have a Tim Hortons cafe. Of course, you'd have stuff about hockey, and you'd have maple syrup.
Mm-hmm. And poutine. You've got poutine.
Yeah, poutine. There we go. Yeah, yep.
And lots of beer, microbreweries.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can get behind that. That sounds good.
Uh,
See, now I want to visit Canada. That's what I want.
yeah, me too.
We got beer, we got alcohol, we got mountains, we got weed, we got everything you want.
And Timbits.
And Timbits.
Uh,
Oh boy. But no, thank you so much for coming on this episode, Corv. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yeah,
not a
you've been a
problem.
great guest.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks again to our lovely guest, Corvidius, for joining us for this hour of chatting and ranting and salivating over Timbits.
Yeah. If it was any plug, I would put my family out there. Without them, I wouldn't be here today, and I will always support them through everything I do.
With that, we have to call it a night. Anyway, if you like what you hear, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on our videos and hit that bell for notifications on YouTube. We also just noticed that you have a feature to actually be notified for all videos or some videos. So feel free to hit that bell on how many times you want to be notified with whatever we post. And also, if you like our shenanigans, feel free to follow us on Twitter at Furry Frequency. We love to post on Furry Frequency about random crap and love to hear your responses and respond back to you on Twitter. Anyway, this is Furry Frequency signing off with Lifty.
Psylocke.
Corvidius!
And
Sharky!
we wish you a great evening. Have a great night.
Good night. Oh, fuck. Just gonna look on Google Maps real quick for a town.
Good night, Vancouver.
Good night. It's only 7 o'clock, but good night.
That's a real place in South Dakota.
Vancouver?
No,
Yeah.
no, in South Dakota. I'm looking at something else. I'm like, that's a real
You
place.
thought Vancouver wasn't a real place?
No. I know it's a real place.
Good night, Williston, South. Or wait, no, that's in North Dakota. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm getting my Dakotas mixed up.
It's all the same. There's nothing there. Well,
Hey!
no, they keep the nukes there. Apparently, that's what I've been told. Good night, Minot, North Dakota. Yeah, shout out to North Dakota.
Good night, Singapore. Wait, it's morning there.
You're just breaking
Shit.
No shit. Lifty.
Good morning,
Oh
Singapore.
my god.
Good morning,
Well,
Thailand.
yeah. Well, whenever they listen, I mean, you could listen out there at night and be like, okay, good night. It's like, oh, okay, nice.
Good morning.
Good night. And then and if you're listening in the morning, it's like, well, good morning.
Mazel tov. And a final lovely good night to New York City.
Okay.
Okay. I'm hitting stop recording. It's still recording.
Go away.
Don't know why it's doing that. I didn't break it.
I
You
clicked it.
broke it.
How can you click it?
Yes,
I
you
clicked
did.
it. Just because I can click it doesn't mean it does anything.
It's like
recording on
I
mine.
have the little. Oh, there.